Love attraction is your vibration. Attract what you desire, the love that you deserve, by increasing your magnetism. It really works. Hi everyone, Robert Zink, Miracle Mentor and Alchemy Success Coach. And today we are soaring high like a big, beautiful eagle, and we're always flying in the direction of your dreams and goals. I want to remind you to claim your 30 minutes of Miracle Mentoring and Alchemy Life Coaching. It's absolutely free. Visit us at lawofattractionsolutions.com. High flyers. Everybody is under the high school impression because this is where you learn it at. The high school impression is that the good-looking guys get the good-looking girls, and the good-looking girls get the good-looking guys. And that may be the way it is in high school. Let me show you why. In high school, people are primarily functioning out of their child ego state, or what Freud used to call the instinctual drive. In other words, they're functioning out of their animal self. And so it's strictly animal magnetism. You look good, I look good, we're about the same height, let's get together. But as we develop an ego, and we start to develop rules in our life, that really changes. You see, what we have found is that real magnetism in attracting someone else into your life deals with two words. Write these words down right now. Personal power. Can you say it? Personal power. Now, you either know that you have personal power and that you feel good about yourself, that you feel confident, you feel self-worthy, you have a positive self-view of who you are. You look at yourself in the mirror and you go, I like what I see coming back. I like who I am. I like what I'm becoming. Or you don't. If you don't have a positive self-view, if you don't have positive self-worth or confidence, you lack personal power. Now, here's the amazing thing about it all, high flyers. People are either attracted because you have personal power and they want to be close to you, they want to get to know you, they are drawn to your magnetism, or you are being repelled because they lack personal power. And so the same is true with you. If you have personal power, they are being drawn to you. And if you lack personal power, they're being pushed away. So I must tell you about the Don Boyani story. Now, the guy changed his names so many times and had so many different printed IDs that this is probably not his real name, but just as well. So Don Boyani was a guy that I met when I lived in Las Vegas. And he was one of those guys that was 6'3". He had a perfect tan. He had dark hair. He had muscles. He had been working out in the gym. And yet, Don Boyani lacked personal power. Every time he got into a relationship with someone of his own age, it just bombed. It just failed. I would talk to some of his friends and I would say, how come you don't like Don? Because he was living with me at the time. Oh, I just don't want anything to do with him. I just feel he's needy and he's kind of gross. And that's what people say. When they say gross, what they're really saying is that you're needy and that you're in a state of want and hunger and desperation. But Don Boyani was a professional gigolo. And so when he dated women in their 60s, in their 50s, and in their 70s, the next thing you know, he'd be driving a new car, living in a fancy house, living the good life for a period of time. And he would, they would be giving him an allowance. He'd be taking them out on dates and all of that kind of stuff. But guess what? Even the older women who hired him as a professional gigolo got tired of him, gave up on him because he lacked personal power. While he looked good on the outside, he lacked the energy that gave confidence, the vibration of confidence. He lacked self-worth. He didn't like who he was. He didn't like what he was doing. He didn't like anything about himself. And his self-view was very, very low. You see, high flyers, Don Boyani didn't feel worthy of a real, in-depth, committed, loving relationship. If you desire love in your life, first, you must feel worthy. This is why that affirmation is so important each and every day. I am worthy. I am worthy. And I say it 10 times in front of the mirror. I am worthy. And I say it louder and I feel it more. I feel it vibrating all the way down to my bones. It's so important. That inner belief that you are worthy of the money you desire, the love you crave, and the health and happiness that you deserve and depend upon. If you don't believe yourself as worthy, if you don't see yourself as the one on the pedestal, you will operate through life with a self-limiting filter. And it'll have you trying and hoping and begging to be loved. But you'll never quite get there. And this is what happens when people go from one relationship to the next. I've been in 20 committed relationships, but they never work out because of lack of personal power. So high flyers, look around at your reality. Your reality expresses your belief about you. If your reality is all bullshit, then your life is bullshit because you believe you are bullshit. You don't believe in yourself. You lack personal power. Now, the other thing is about the importance of others. How do you value others? It's one thing to say, I value myself, but how do you value others? Do you value them in a positive, resourceful, optimistic way? I think that's equally important. So it's how you value yourself and your life and who you are and how you value others. So now let's take a look at this chart for a moment. This is based on transactional analysis, and it could also be based on the works of Sigmund Freud or anyone else. It doesn't really matter. But I like to use this because it's simple and it's easy to understand. If you're in a state of need, or neediness, you're operating out of a child that was never satisfied. A child that always hungered for the attention of a parent or someone, okay? So that brings about that constant state of need. There's no personal power to be found there. Now the child, the instinctual drive, the child is where we choose to have fun, excitement, sex, all the fun things in life. But if you are holding back because there's a part of you that fears being kicked to the rear, being abandoned, being hurt, being left alone, then guess what happens? You're never going to have the maximum amount of fun or excitement or enjoyment in life. And so what happens is that when you do meet somebody, you have a good time, but you're always expecting the other shoe to fall. You're always expecting for something to go wrong. And, well, you know how the law of attraction works. When you start to expect something and emotionalize it over and over again, eventually it does go wrong. Now, the parent is our ego. It is the part of us that is looking out for who we are. And it puts up these rules and guidelines. And you can't do this, and you can't have that, and you shouldn't try this, and it's too dangerous to do that. And so the parent puts on limitations. Limiting beliefs. Because the parent realizes that the unlimited beliefs of the child are just too wild, just too crazy. Where the personal power comes in is in the adult ego state or the superego. The adult is neither parental, it's neither judgmental, nor is it the instinctual drive, nor is it that part of the personality that says, hey, let's just go out and be animals. The adult is where the power is, because the adult is where you connect with spirit. It is your higher self. Some people would call it your holy guardian angel. It's that part of you that knows best because it's not emotionally connected to the limitations of the parent or the crazy, wild shenanigans of the child. It is focused on the harmony and the worthiness of the organism, your worthiness. So where do we want to spend our time? We want to spend our time in spirit, connecting to source energy, connecting through meditation, connecting through self-affirmation, connecting through creating new beliefs. This is all the work of the adult ego state, or the holy guardian angel, the superego, whatever you want to call it. It's really all the same. So when you're here, this is where you develop personal power. And high flyers, this is where you develop magnetism. And when you're in a state of magnetism, guess what happens? You can choose. You can say, hey, I've examined things logically, looking at every side, and limitation does make sense. Or I've examined everything logically, and let's go to the beach and get naked. Whatever the case may be. Okay? So, but it's done through your connection to spirit or source energy or your higher self. This is where personal power takes place because it gives you access to the entire universe. As you surrender your neediness, and as you surrender your critical thinking and your limiting beliefs, then your reality, it lives with you on the pedestal. You're no longer begging others. Others are crying out for your attention. You are the one in demand. You are magnetic because you have access to every emotion, every feeling, every opportunity because you're operating in source. You're operating in your adult. You're operating in your superego. And that's where we make the most progress, and that's where we have the greatest amount of personal power. So high flyers, only your connection to source, true confidence, magnetism, self-worth, self-love, only that will give you the fullness of satisfaction that you deserve and you desire. Now, here are some ways, certainly this is not every way. Here's a few ways that I think will help you. One, find a good course or a good teacher on transcendental meditation. And I would suggest practicing transcendental meditation once or twice a day. But again, there are groups, there are teachers, there are courses. Find a good one that you feel comfortable with. Learn to pray like Neville Goddard, where you realize that you are a co-creator of your reality. Talking about increasing your personal power. Instead of being on your knees begging and hoping and pleading, you're now bringing in that God force energy and you're saying, I command, I call upon, I invoke the power of. You're not praying to God, you're praying as God. Find a good course, some good teachers that will work with you. We do some workshops here from time to time. We'll be doing one in the fall. But in the meantime, find somebody that will help you clear your chakras and get them clear, get your body flexible, and yes, I would recommend yoga as well. And then any kind of program, any kind of meditation that increases self-love is going to be highly recommended. So high flyers, reminder, please subscribe to our channel. Hey, we have new videos every day, and click that bell icon so you know when we're here. And remember that you must replace your neediness with self-love, worthiness, confidence, and personal power. We'll be here with another one soon. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.